Here we are back at it again with the white vans that are being used to kidnap children in order for them to become experiments because a father is trying to bring back his dead son using metal infused with the intense emotion of agony that those children emit when they are brutally murdered at their favorite anthropomorphic animal-themed pizza joint. And that sums up the plot of Five Nights at Freddy's. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host Connor Monroe and it's spooky season. It's spooky season. Fishtail! Fishtail, break your legs, crazy legs. If you understood that and remember watching it for the first time on TV, we can be friends. No, I messed up saying break your legs. Don't call me out. There have been plenty of theories about the Five Nights at Freddy series. That's what it was made for, but not all theories can be right, and that's what we're looking into with today's list of the top 10 FNAF Disproven Fan Theories. Let's do it. In at 10, Puppet was first. The puppet's origins were first explored in FNAF 2. The Give Gifts minigame is what made us first imagine that the puppet was the one giving life to these animatronics. And we were right about that, but we also thought that the puppet was the one putting the bodies in the suits and that the puppet was the first child murdered outside the pizzeria. However, now we know thanks to the Ultimate Custom Night game is that this isn't the case. In Ultimate Custom Night, all the FNAF animatronics get voice lines, making this the first time we've heard many of these animatronics talk. Nevertheless, in the game affectionately referred to as UCN, when killed by Chica, you can hear her say, "I was first, I have seen everything," indicating that she was indeed the first victim of William Afton, which kinda threw off the timeline and made everything more confusing, but that's Scott's specialty, isn't it? In a 9 timeline. The timeline of Five Nights at Freddy's is a complicated mistress with plenty of conflicting events and contradictory sentences throughout, but that's understandable. You can't keep track of 10 games worth of lore when you weren't planning on making 2. So understandably, things get confused and dates get mistaken, but that in essence means that every timeline you can think of, unless it takes into account all information and places it without any conflicts, is proven wrong. It's weird, I know, and that's basically me saying that MatPat's timeline is wrong, but hey, it's fine. We're getting new things on the regular and it looks like Scott has abandoned that timeline anyway. Hell, it may totally be worthless, okay? Since apparently in universe the games were also created as a way to make fun of the events, so everything could be a lie now, if the games in universe are the same as the ones we played in the real world. And it ain't purple and pink. Way back in the FNAF 2 days, there was a debate over 2 different killers. However, this time they were the purple and the pink guy. The pink guy was present in the Foxy Go 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 minigame, and since he was a slightly lighter shade of purple, they were instantly different people, and then we had 2 killers to deal with, which technically would have been a settling thought since one person wouldn't have killed all those kids. However, this isn't the case, as proven in the Freddy Files, an elongated strategy guide created by Scott Cawthon himself. In it, it says that in the Foxy Go 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 minigame, quote, "Purple guy can be seen in the corner," which very quickly proves the pink guy stands wrong. I believe that this was a debate where people were like legit fighting over this and then dismissing anything if it didn't mention that there was a pink guy and a purple guy. It's nuts, okay? It's good to have a fan base that's dedicated, but it can also lead to a very toxic environment. And at 7, the man in purple. Remember the dark days when we didn't really know anything about the purple guy other than he killed kids? Yeah, those were the times. And remember when we, thanks to MatPat, thought that the purple guy was Phone Guy? Oh yeah, those were dark days indeed. This theory started when YouTuber Game Theory, also known as MatPat, posted a video on his channel talking about one small detail that nobody seemed to notice. How the purple guy from Foxy Go 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 was smiling, and that the phone guy had a fascination with Foxy. And how the phone guy thought that the puppet was creepy, and purple guy would think the same thing, because at the time we believed he was his first victim. This was later disproved in the Silver Eyes when the killer was revealed to be one Sir William Afton. Obviously in the book he wasn't referred to as the purple guy, but at this point we had proven that there was only one killer. And in the story, Willie was the only killer. This was also confirmed to be the identity in the in-game universe in FNAF 5 sister locations. So, sorry Matt, but purple guy is indeed not the phone guy. I wanted it too, don't worry. And at 6, Michael Afton. We can't get the identity of Michael Afton down. At first we thought he was the crying child's older brother, then thanks to the survival logbook it was now the crying child, and now after that with the release of the 4th Fazbear Frights book Step Closer, it's the older brother again because Michael chews gum and the older brother in the story chews gum, and the older brother in the story had his hand turned purple, and Michael Afton turns purple, and they're both older brothers. Great. I personally think that the older brother and the crying child are both Michael Afton, and that he was just rebuilt as a robot. Click up in the top right corner to see my full explanation that I will believe until it gets disproven by Scott himself, be it in another Frights book or in a new game, okay? I want a canon source to say that I'm wrong, and then I'll stop believing it. Halfway through number 5, Mike is Purple Guy. There have been plenty of debates online once more pertaining to the identity of Purple Guy after the release of FNAF Sister Location. The confusion came after the end of Sister Location when Michael is walking around and turns purple. This caused a whole load of people to consider the two individuals the same person, even though those same people thought that since they were slightly different shades of purple, there was a purple and pink guy. These two are also different shades, but now they're the same person? What? Anyway, the real answer here is just that the purple guy is just a shadow. He's not physically purple like Michael is. William's purple guy is a shadow that couldn't be colored black because the background of FNAF 2's minigames was black. So the shadow was instead colored purple. The purple guy is William Afton, but Michael Afton became visually purple, okay? There were two purple guys, but only one that is like actually purple. You get it? This game is not confusing at all. In it 4, William is dead. We always thought that William was dead. This guy has died more times than Sarah Lance, but as we all know, he always comes back. Some people thought that William died after the spring locking in FNAF 3's minigames, and some of us thought he died in the FNAF 3 fire, and the rest of us thought that he had died in the fire from Pizzeria Simulator, also known as FNAF 6, since we later see his soul in Hell and Ultimate Custom Night, constantly being tortured by the one you should not have killed, Golden Freddy or Cassidy. But now he's alive again, at least his mind or soul is in the form of Glitch Trap, or I guess you would call it his essence? That sounds nasty. But he was also proven to be alive again thanks to the Fazbear Frights book Bunny Call and the story The Man in the Room 1280, where we see a man with horrible burns on his face and body and an iron will to live, where we learn that William is actually being kept alive by the spirit of a dead child that possessed him instead of an animatronic? What? That explains why he always comes back, and how he survived for 30 years trapped in a back room that was sealed off. Man, this series just gets simpler and simpler, doesn't it? Getting close to the end in number 3, Crying Puppet. Way back in the early days of FNAF, we were still trying to piece together the convoluted story that would soon turn the world on edge. However, the main issues with this are us not knowing what we do now. We didn't know Henry had a daughter, we didn't know Henry existed, we only had 2 games to go off of. And while that led us to some interesting conclusions, like the purple guy being the phone guy, it also led those conclusions to be wrong as more information got exposed. For example, in FNAF 4, we thought that the crying child that was introduced became the puppet. This was thanks to the design of the crying child's shirt looking similar to that of the puppet's sleeve, and the crying streaks down his face were similar to that of the puppet, which makes me think that honestly we didn't realize how stupid that was. Like, why would the design details matter if the puppet was made before the crying child possesses it? And if it wasn't created, then that would have meant that the crying child would have created it when he died, which would make more sense if we were using visuals as evidence. Oh well, it's been proven to be Charlotte anyway, confirmed in FNAF 6 security puppet minigame. In it 2, 83 versus 87. FNAF 4 is one of the weak points when it comes to discerning or decoding the FNAF timeline, which is nearly impossible at this point. This game has so much debate about who the characters are, where it takes place, and hell, even when it takes place. Yeah, people were legitimately arguing over if the game took place in 1983 or 1987. 87 would make sense, considering how we see a bite at the end of the game when the crying child dies, and then the only other time we've heard about a bite in game is the bite of 87, where someone gets their frontal lobe bitten off during business hours. However, the television screen showing the Fredbear and Friends cartoon says it's only 1983. This debate was put to rest when Scott confirmed the previous game's date and sister location. He likes to do this thing where he clears up some things from previous games on his next one, and the biggest debate from FNAF 4 was the year. So he showed us that it indeed took place in 1983 by using that number as a secret code that unlocked security cameras in sister location that showed the various places in the FNAF 4 house, like the crying child's bed, the closet in his room, and the plush trap hallway. Finally, in at number 1, Mic Trap. This has got to be my personal most frustrating debate in all of FNAF lore, okay? This debate also arose at the same time as the purple guy debate. They go hand in hand. At the end of Sister Location, the secret ending, Mike has a little speech about how he's supposed to be dead, but he isn't, and that he's going to fight his father. The debate comes at the end of that scene, where Mike says that I'm going to come find you, and then Springtrap pops out of the ruins of Fazbear Fright. This caused some people to believe that the act of Springtrap popping out was Scott's way of saying saying that they're the same. However, it was only to show that dear old dad hasn't kicked the bucket and that you unplugging his life support didn't do anything because he's being kept alive by the soul of one of his victims. The whole Mic Trap Club was disproven by Scott himself when he said in a post on Steam to take a look at MatPat's explanation for Mic Trap versus Glitch Trap, which is kinda dumb because like you can just say that he's William, not Michael, but it's also kinda nice because you generated traffic for his video. I mean, wanna give us that same treatment, Scott? Please? MatPat also concluded that Springtrap was good old Willie Afton. There we have it, friends, the top 10 disproved FNAF fan theories. Thank you for joining me on a little bit of a return to the FNAF for this spooky season. What theories did you believe at the time, or did I just show you that a theory you believed had been proven wrong? Let me know in the comments, and on your way down, why not give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more daily gaming content, and ring that bell to join the clan and level up. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. Is calling it a clan weird?